Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for March 11th, 2024. My name is Garrett, and I'm joined by my awesome, wonderful co-host. His name is Kevin.
Oh, there I am.
There we go. We didn't rehearse that at all.
Nope.
Hope you're all doing fantastically after the weekend. Hopefully you've had a great Monday to start your week out. I know, Kevin, you have the days off on Monday, so that must be nice to start your week out.
Can't wait.
And we already got an AO from our friend Nadia over at Horror and More. Hello, Nadia. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday so far.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So before we kind of jump in, Kevin, how was the week? How's it been since last Monday? And what's going on with you?
It's been pretty good. Only watched one movie this week, so a little light. But hopefully we're going to be watching a little bit more movies. I've been really into the F1 series on Netflix. But it's the newest season because it was last year's season. So it's very interesting on that part. So, and just been watching hockey and YouTube, basically.
Sure. Yeah, no, I totally get you. I've watched a couple of movies this week, and we'll get to those as we do in the usual segment. Let's go ahead. We got a lot of news to cover this week. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and jump right in. And obviously, with the biggest story this week, the 96th Annual Academy Awards were yesterday, which is the biggest night in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Kind of the Super Bowl for me. I don't know, most movie fans, I would assume it's like the Super Bowl kind of day. Mm-hmm. But a lot of winners this week, excuse me, to talk about. So let's go ahead and kind of go through this real quick. That's not what timer, and you went ahead and took it away. Now I can't read it.
Wait, you can't hear us.
Oh, well, that would be.
You're in the backstage.
That would. I don't know what we're gonna do now. Well, that's fun.
Here, I'll get me off the screen.
Well, that doesn't help either. Well, let's. Here, we'll go ahead. I'm gonna add it in as an overlay. Okay. This is so professional. It's great. So here we are. Your Academy Award winners this week. Best Picture went to Oppenheimer. Best Director was Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Best Actress went to Emma Stone for Poor Things. Best Actor to Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Best Supporting Actress to Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. I forgot to put it on there. Best Supporting Actor went to Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. Mm-hmm. Best Original Screenplay went to Anatomy of a Fall. Best Adapted Screenplay went to American Fiction. Best International Feature to The Zone of Interest. Best Animated Feature to The Boy and the Heron. Best Documentary Feature to 20 Days in Mariupol. Original Score went to Oppenheimer. Original Song went to What Was I Made For from Barbie. Best Cinematography went to Oppenheimer. Costume Design went to Poor Things. Film Editing went to Oppenheimer. Makeup and Hairstyling went to Poor Things. Production Design went to Poor Things. Best Sound went to The Zone of Interest. Best Visual Effects went to Godzilla -1. Animated Short was War Is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. Live Action Short went to The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. And Documentary Short went to The Last Repair Shop. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of winners this week. Kevin, I know what you're going to say, but what stands out to you? What are your thoughts after these? And do you have anything you want to add to that? It's pretty cut and dry. We kind of called what was going to happen.
I think maybe because I didn't watch Poor Things, or what's the other movie that you went to go see that's 3 hours long that I can't.
Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah, I thought the actress was from Killers of the Flower Moon was going to win the Oscar.
So did I.
Yeah. maybe that was like the biggest surprise, and maybe Zone of Interest got 2 Oscars. I thought it would only get maybe 1.
2, arguably the 2 that it deserved, international feature, but also sound, because sound is so important to that movie. Mm-hmm. But also, I just got to give it to the happiest moment of the night. Godzilla -1 getting visual effects, which is so deserved for doing their entire budget for probably what you'd pay an actor for a big movie nowadays. And it really is a Cinderella story for that movie. And apparently on Saturday or Friday was the Japanese Academy Awards, and it was Best Picture and a slew of other awards. So that team is just getting congratulatory
remarks. I loved how they went up on the stage too, and they were just so ecstatic that they won. And it's just so cool to see. I don't know, people get excited about winning. Like everybody else was very excited they won an Oscar, but it's different seeing it from a different culture, I would say. Coming to the American Oscars and winning it here.
I believe it's the first movie from Japan to get the visual effects win in a nomination, I think. But it was just a fantastic moment, and actually, and what I would say is a really good show. I think it was a great Academy Awards this year. So, and we lost Kevin. Mm-hmm. So, there he is. He's back. Other than that, though, pretty standard night. I have my ballot here. We did a watch party. I have my ballot and picked all my winners. And out of 23 awards, I got 20 correct. So I should have bet, honestly.
Yeah. What you have for animated?
Animated is one of the ones I got wrong. I thought it was going to go to Spider-Man.
I think that's the only one that was kind of like teeter-tottering between into the Spider-Verse or The Boy and the Heron. It could have gone either way.
It was that one, and it was also Best Actress. Everything else was pretty cut and dry. There wasn't really any surprises. Except I would say Godzilla -1 was a surprise, though. I think it was. I knew it was going to go to Godzilla -1 in my heart, but my gut was telling me the creator was going to get it. But really refreshing to see it win, and again, just a great night. Also, we got a naked John Cena, so
that was so funny.
If you're into that, hey, it's there for you. Before we move on, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue. Next up.
All right, and the new Super Mario Bros. Movie announced releasing in April 3rd, 2026. I didn't even know about this, so it's news to me. So I want to see where it goes, pretty much. I mean, the first one was just lots of fun and lots of nostalgia, so hopefully they can keep going through that during this movie, putting new characters in and just making sure that it's just fun to go to the movies. Doesn't have to be serious or expensive or over the top.
Yeah, 100%. And I think while I wasn't necessarily a fan of the first one, the one that came out this year, it is nice that it's getting a sequel. I think that audience wants it and deserves it for sure. I just don't know what they're going to do. Because Bowser's the villain. I don't know aware of any other villains in Mario that they haven't touched yet.
We have Wario and Waluigi. They can go off of the other two brothers. And then we haven't met Yoshi yet, except at the end.
Or Daisy.
Or Birdo. We saw Toad. Never mind. He was the main part of that whole movie.
There's a lot of Toads. Well, again, this is 2 years away at this point, so I mean, hopefully it'll be good. Next up, the Magic movie franchise Now You See Me is getting a third film. Has a promising update from Jesse Eisenberg, star of the films, who has said that the film will start filming sometime in the next 6 months. Nice. Which the first film's pretty good from what I remember. I haven't seen them for a while, but I think it hasn't been too long since we got the last one. Who knows? That'll be up for audiences to decide.
I remember watching these. They were just fun movies to watch, and some, like in the second movie, I think there's like a card trick that they do to get through like the security, which is that whole sequence was pretty cool to me. So that's what stands out. Yeah,
it's almost like Fast and Furious, right? Where it has those cool sequences and cool moments, and that's what kind of gets you through. I mean, I'm sure it's got a good plot. I honestly don't remember the films.
Yeah, me neither. But it was cool. And The Mandalorian and Grogu starts production in June. I'm so burnt out on TV shows right now.
Well, this will be the film.
Oh, it is the film. Never mind then.
We are a movie podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't think that one through. I saw those two and I thought TV show. So,
well, they announced that it's coming in place of season 4. We're getting the movie instead, which will kind of tie into the current goings on with Ahsoka and the Mandalorian and that kind of that time period. So some exciting stuff. And Jon Favreau, who is the creator of Mandalorian, is directing it. So,
okay.
I mean, he's a good director. So, I'm all here for it. Next up, Conclave is the new film coming from All Quiet on the Western Front director Edward Berger, who won for International Feature Film last year, and obviously the film won quite a few awards last year. Excited for this one. It is a thriller that is about when the Catholic Church selects a new pope. So that should be exciting. It has Ray Fiennes in it. Voldemort himself will be playing a papist. So, yeah, not a rapist, a papist.
The papist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen All Quiet on the Western Front yet. It is fantastic. You should watch it.
I haven't yet. It's on Netflix, so it's always being recommended to me. So maybe I will have to watch it sooner or later.
Hey, sooner rather than later. I'm just saying, it's really good.
Yeah, true. And next up, Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball, has passed away at the age of 68. Yep, I had to make sure I said that right. Saddening news, but everybody absolutely loves the animation of Dragon Ball and the manga and everything. So his legacy will still continue throughout many years after this.
Yeah, and obviously brought this huge mega franchise to the world. Films, TV shows, video games. It's got everything. So, I mean, it's never nice to see, someone passing. So, especially someone who's so talented and brought a lot to the world of entertainment. Even if it's not something that you're necessarily into, there's other projects he had his hands in.
There's people who don't know animation but know Dragon Ball. Like, you can just go up to anybody in the streets and be like, Dragon Ball, and they're like, oh yeah, I know what it is. So
yeah, exactly. Next up, Zack Snyder is claiming that more people watched Rebel Moon than Barbie, which is just factually wrong.
Yeah.
I think his justification makes sense, though. The reason why is because it is a part of Netflix, which a lot of people have. And if you have Netflix, it's free on Netflix. So he's trying to think, he's trying to say, maybe more people have access to it, which is, I mean, not necessarily true either, because anyone can go to the movie theater, but it's just a weird, I'm sorry, all you Zack Snyder stans out there. I hope we don't have anyone in chat who's a Zack Snyder fan, but shut the fuck up, Zack Snyder. Just keep making bad movies, and I'm sure you'll have your day.
I just don't understand that. I don't see how that is physically possible, because I mean, I don't see a lot of people talking about Rebel Moon, but we heard so many people talking about Barbie. Just word of mouth already, Barbie blows it out of the water.
100%. And the people who have seen Rebel Moon will tell you it's trash. Don't watch it. I mean, if you're curious and it's free and you have nothing better to do, you should probably read a book. But it is there.
It's there. Hey, I mean, if you want to watch it on Netflix, I mean, just go to Garrett's Letterbox and you'll see if he liked it or not. Next up, Talk to Me star Sophie Wilde to lead Watch Dogs film for Ubisoft.
Yes, confirmed to not be one of the existing stories. It is going to be a brand new story set in the world of Watch Dogs, which, I mean,
hey, they can take that anywhere they want then, which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen London, we've seen San Francisco, we've seen Chicago, I want to say. So there's a lot of places you can go with the CTOS storyline, and I think it's more poignant than ever to kind of go over the artificial intelligence and technology kind of stuff. So honestly, it makes sense.
Make people interested in a little bit more too. So because of all this AI stuff. So I like the game. I didn't play through it or anything like that, but it looked very interesting to watch.
Now, you've seen Talk to Me. I have still yet to see it. I own it, but I haven't seen it yet. What do you think about Sophie Wilde being cast in the lead role? Do you think she can carry something like that?
She carried Talk to Me. I feel like she really did put herself out there, and this was a breakout movie. That was a breakout movie for her. So yeah, very excited to see her in this Watch Dogs, but it's a different genre. So hopefully she can take it to the next genre, pretty much.
Yeah, hopefully we need younger star power. We can only rely on, Timothy Chalamet, Tom Holland, and Zendaya for so long. So, but moving right along, before we take a quick break to look at some comments, Disney's computer animated remake of Bambi has lost its director, Sarah Polley, and the status of the film remains unknown at this time. We don't know if it's been canned or not. There is a story coming up later, which will kind of talk a little bit more about this. But as of right now, project is stalled. Would have been similar to the way they did Jungle Book and The Lion King, which we'll see if that works again, because it's 1 for 1. There's Jungle Book was fantastic, and Lion King was a bit of a letdown, or some people say it's trash, depending on who you ask.
Is this the real life one? What is it? Live action?
It's live action, but it's computer generated animals. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what they mean by that. All right. Yeah.
But I didn't have a lot of faith in this anyway. I mean, I had faith in the director, Sarah Polley, and now that she's not there, I don't know what to think.
I mean, it's like I didn't want to go see The Lion King to rewatch The Lion King in a big theater that's not animated. So hearing these like classic movies coming out, they're just to me. Like I don't. Yeah. If it's word for word, scene for scene, I already know what's going to happen.
And one of the best parts of Bambi, the original, is how beautifully it's drawn and animated. Mm-hmm. And like you're gonna lose that. I mean, unless they go the full nature documentary route with like beautiful locales that they choose, that's fine. But it still does. It's missing that soul of the actual hand drawn art. Mm-hmm. So, but let's go ahead and take a quick break from that and get into the comments here.
Commentos.
We got Nadia. Oh my God, I'm dizzy. I hope you're not dizzy.
Well, no, it was from the Oscar thing.
Oh,
switching back and forth.
Only 20 correct. You're slipping. Yeah. I let myself down. So, Nadia, there was a floating card on stage at the Oscars. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was.
And then there was like right afterward, there was a floating curtain that was like it was almost like someone was standing there, but it was really weird. Now You See Me needs to star John Cena as a running joke.
I mean, he doesn't have to be in the movie because we can't see him.
Yeah, or you could just say he's in the movie, put his name in the credits, and he's not actually in it.
Perfect.
That'd be 100% great. Matt Walls, hello. Just woke up from a 5-hour nap. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day is this for you, Matt. Hopefully it was a nice nap. And welcome. Rip Akira, I'm already planning on buying the Dragon Ball and DBZ manga. Well, that's a good way to honor the legacy. Watch the show, watch the movies, play the games, whichever you want. Fans, something. Hello, welcome. It's the realest of watchers. It is. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you guys again. There is a lot of stuff going on here. Matt Walls, I want a Ghost Recon movie instead of Watch Dogs. I feel that.
I can see that, dude. That would be like a. I can see like. Well, why can't I think of his name? Freaking Mission Impossible person.
Tom Cruise.
Thank you, Tom Cruise being in that movie, or very Jason Statham in that movie, stuff like that. I could definitely see. I'd probably go watch it too.
I mean, I'm the kind of like you know me. We've played it. I'd rather see a Rainbow Six movie.
That's true.
With the Siege characters, not with the original book characters, but that's okay. But yeah, Ghost Recon will be a great movie too. Also, still waiting on the Division movie, which we're supposed to be getting with Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain. So, Bambi remake. I'm tired of Disney being lazy and doing these kind of movies. I get it. Only a handful of them have been really worth anything. And I think that at the very least, when it comes to like the Jungle Book and the Lion King, and I was hoping with Bambi, we would see technology getting furthered and better visual effects as we go on, and better computer generated effects. At the very least, and there's always a little bit of hope that the Disney nerd inside me is excited to go see it.
Yeah, I mean, once they start coming out with like maybe movies that I grew up with, I know they won't do it, but like Toy Story might pique my interest in on going on seeing because I know I've watched it so much as a little kid. But like they're like Bambi is like, okay, I know what happens, I know the characters. Do I need to know the storyline? No, not really. It's just nature pretty much.
Yeah,
So as long as they can get me like, oh my gosh, they're bringing I don't know, something to life that I would be like, oh, okay, that intrigues my interest, I would go see it.
sure. Yeah, it has to be doing something like what Cruella did, and obviously making a movie about someone who kills animals for clothing is probably not the best way to start it, but at least like they went down the right path of doing something different with the character.
Mhm.
And in theory, the Maleficent movie could have been interesting, but those movies just didn't do
Yeah.
enough, really. Fans of something. Anyone seen Imaginary yet? Nadia, you're going tomorrow. Kevin, Garrett?
I'm going with Nadia, so we're seeing it tomorrow.
It's a package deal, Kevin and Nadia.
Yep.
I have not seen it yet. I have been hearing a lot of different things, and I don't know what to hear. I don't know what to think about what I've seen for it, but possibly at some point I'll go see it. There was a lot of movies that came out this weekend, so also got to see Kung Fu Panda 4 and
Me
some
too.
other kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Joey here, probably the old man in me, but no matter how advanced the technology gets, it won't hit that magic of
No.
2D animation, which is what we said when we were talking
Mhm.
about Bambi. Like, it's just missing the soul of those watercolor backgrounds, for sure.
You can see that
Also,
hours and hours in painting in that background and everything.
yes, exactly. Also, why was Cruella made? Money. And Emma Stone actually does give a good performance in the movie. So
Something to
things?
do during the pandemic, pretty much. Wasn't it a pandemic movie?
I think it was pandemic or like right after the pandemic.
Right,
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Matt Walls, I want an Atlantis: The Lost Empire remake. Yes, me too. It needs to happen. Tom Holland as Milo, Zendaya as Kida. The cast is there. Do it. It could it could be Disney's like Dune level epic. Like just
see, like give me this and give me that instead of Bambi. Put more hours into this.
Or even Treasure Planet. I would love to see a Treasure Planet live action too.
Planet. Oh my goodness, yes.
Remake the movies that didn't succeed so well at the box office, and then start revisiting.
But now don't they see that these movies have a cult following? Like they can't just pick up on that and just go, okay, let's run with this. Like that's what they need to do.
Yeah, but that's unfortunately we're not the ones working there. So
I mean.
Cruella flopped in my theater when I worked there. Yeah. Well, it was I believe, like we were saying, it was a COVID movie. If not, it was right before. So
yeah.
May also just not have been the right movie for that area, wherever you were at.
True.
Killer credit song though. I've heard it's a good credit song. Alrighty, right back into the news because we got a lot more to talk about this week, and I believe
that's me.
It is you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, Steven Spielberg has seen Ryan Gosling's The Fall Guy and loves it, and I cannot wait to see this movie because I saw the trailer, didn't know about it actually for the longest time, saw the trailer in theaters, and I go, oh yeah, this is like my type of movie, just funny action, and it was so hard for me not to say Fall Guys either.
Yeah, it's a slip of the tongue kind of a thing, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've been excited for this movie. Obviously, it's directed by David Leitch, the same director as Deadpool 2 and Bullet Train, and one of the co-creators of John Wick. This movie's going to be great. Can't wait for it. And that's really about it. But if Steven Spielberg has faith in it, which I like, on one hand, Steven Spielberg is like a GOAT filmmaker. He's like top 5 of all time, right?
Yeah.
But he has produced some, like, his movies directed, you know, really high batting average. The movies he's produced, like Transformers, I don't know. But the Fall Guy does look good. So, next up, Kirsten Dunst has claimed that filming Civil War had given her PTSD for 2 weeks, citing the overabundance and the type of violence that's in the movie. and the kind of things that they will show. I'm already super excited for this movie. I think that it is going to be the scariest movie of the year that is not a horror movie. For sure, because I feel like this could probably happen, and it probably will. Yeah. But I mean, will Texas and California getting together and forming an army? No, that won't happen. But you know, like this, you know, a civil war is something that could potentially happen. So it is pretty scary, and I get what she's saying. It's like she probably saw some shit.
Oh yeah, and then especially if they do like maybe practical effects or the explosions correctly during the filming of this, definitely can give you PTSD if you're seeing this after rerun in case they didn't get the shot or something. You sitting there for 7 scenes redoing it. Yeah, it would definitely give you some type of feeling.
Yeah, and I mean also like, you know, just the kind of things that they go through in the trailer is like enough to already kind of give me the creeps. So like having to film it all just looks like it's going to be kind of crazy. So
but can't wait for it. Jason Blum confirms that The Exorcist Deceiver is still happening.
Yes, this comes after the box office, critical, and audience disappointment, just all around disappointment. That was The Exorcist Believer. I still have not seen it, so I can't comment on it. Did you watch The Exorcist Believer?
I totally forgot to finish it. Not saying it was bad. I just totally forgot. As soon as I read that, I go, wait, I didn't even finish The Believer. So no, I mean it was decent up until where I'm at, which I don't even think I have like 30 minutes left of it. But it was, I mean, it's decent. Is it a horrible movie? Some people can say yes, it does drag on a little bit, but the horror aspect of it and the girls in this are very, very, the young actresses in this movie, super, super good. So watch it for them, is what I would say.
Okay, we heard it here. I know, I think Nadia has seen it, so I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments. And I think fans of something went and saw the movie. I believe I saw it on one of their stories at some point. So we'd love to hear what you guys have to say about Exorcist Believer and if Deceiver is going to win you back into theaters or not. Next up, Deadpool 3 star Karen Sony has teased that there are a lot of surprise cameos in the movie. Karen Sony being the actor for Dopender, the taxi driver character.
Oh, okay.
And was kind of on record stating that a lot of people flew into London to film the movie, which is all we've heard. That's all he's saying.
I just love how they do it, because in Deadpool, like in Deadpool 2, where we get to see Brad Pitt for literally 2 seconds. It's Brad Pitt, right? Where he gets electrocuted. Just like those little cameos are great. It doesn't have to be like, hey, I'm here. Yeah. Okay, now they're gone. It's just little stuff like that. I love when movies do that.
Yeah, and if this is truly going to be like hopefully the about face 180-degree turn for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, putting it back on track, and introducing elements of the Fox X-Men universe, which we've already seen with the Marvels. I think that, you know, hopefully this is going to be the right way to do it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. New Jurassic World film to start production this summer, releasing in July 2020. Oh yeah, 2025. I said that really weird, so I don't know why.
It's all good.
Am I excited for it? I mean, I'll go see it. It's a dinosaur movie. So, but
The Jurassic Park is one of my favorite films of all time. The second movie, while it's not necessarily a great movie, is a nostalgic and guilty pleasure movie of mine. Same with the third one. Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World, is a good movie. And then the last two in that series sucked. But this movie, as far as we know right now, is being directed by Gareth Edwards, director of Rogue One, Godzilla, and The Creator. So he's got the visual effects experience to make it work, which is a big part of the puzzle when it comes to dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. But hopefully it can just bring something a little extra to it.
Maybe just put it back on track a little bit. Just it went off the rails a little bit. Just scoot it over and just give us some good dinosaur movies.
Yeah, 100%. This is the big story we were talking about earlier. Disney has quietly killed off a few projects that weren't strong enough. Now, this is a pretty big story because we've heard that they have canceled a lot of upcoming Marvel stuff. to help get the series back on track. All the funds that they were diverting to potential shows like Armor Wars and things like that, those funds and those budgets are helping put back into the big tentpole things to help make them better, to help bring the right people on board, which is nice. But also, you know, Bambi might be one of those films that was scrapped. You know, I think when The Little Mermaid came out last year, it did well finance-wise. It not incredibly. It wasn't like, you know, The Lion King making $1 billion, but it I don't know if it did well enough. And so I think you're going to see a lot more of these films start to, you know, bite the bullet. There's also rumors that the upcoming Rey film, the Star Wars film about Rey and the new Jedi Order, has been canned. So honestly, I think, because again, we've talked about this several times on the stream last year. I almost said podcast. The stream last year, where I think what you're seeing a lot of the films right now from Disney not living up to their legacy because it was from the time of Bob Chapek, and now that Bob Iger is back and was really the one that helped put Disney like light years forward, is back leading the company. And so hopefully you're going to start to see the movies and projects that he's greenlit come up soon, and hopefully again get the company back on track.
So before we move on, do you like how they kind of took the money away from those little mini series and are putting them into the big movie spotlight? Or do you want to see those TV shows on Disney Plus? Like, I was kind of excited for Armor Wars after seeing Wakanda Forever and seeing Ironheart and stuff, so we could get like appearances from Robert Downey Jr. or something like that. But I understand that big movies get big money, and I kind of want them to be back on track.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple shows have not been good.
Yeah.
I mean, What If is probably the only one that's been decent pretty lately. But like, you know, Secret Invasion was awful. Echo was a disappointment that could have been good. So like, I think taking the money from those and putting them into the movies is just going to be stronger. And hopefully, obviously more money does not equal better film. And that's not what I'm saying, but I'm like, hopefully they can, with that money, they can hire the right directors, the right screenwriters, and, you know, start doing it right.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
All right. The Final Destination Bloodlines has started filming. I mean, Nadia and I love Final Destination, so
total guilty pleasures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm scared of planes a little bit, so that plane scene, don't like it. But driving on a freeway where there's logs in front of you, I mean, that's flashbacks right there to that. And then, but it's just fun getting another Final Destination movie. Like, they weren't bad. Were they? But the plot is very simple, and that's what I liked about it.
You watch those movies to see the kills. It's like a Saw movie. You go to see the annoying people die. That's really about it. Do I have a lot of hope that it's going to be a good movie? No. Am I going to go to be entertained? Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, I don't think the other films are necessarily great, but they're super entertaining. And I think that, you know, we just need entertaining movies. Like, that's, you know. Speaking of entertaining movies, Dune 3 has been given an update by Legendary. They had a longer statement, but essentially what it boils down to is if the director, Denis Villeneuve, gets the script to where he wants it and feels like it will be a good movie, then they will make it. They are not pushing it. They are not trying to like actively make it. They are waiting on Denis Villeneuve to get it to where he wants it to be, which for a studio to say that, and that's the boss of Legendary, the production company who made Dune and Dune 2, that's huge. That they have that much faith in the director.
And I like how they're not pushing it on him. Like, hey, we need this done by this time. See, like when we got The Exorcist Believer, how they were like, oh, we're making 3 movies. It's like, okay, but what if the first one doesn't do well? Like, and that I didn't hear anything like that from Dune when it came out. It's not like, oh, we're making 3 Dunes. It's like, no, let's see how it goes. Okay, Dune 2 is really good. Okay, here's this. Give you 5 years. Do whatever you need to do. And it's giving him so much leeway to make sure that it is the product that Legendary wants it to be.
And that it deserves to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we get into the books that get really weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I am up. I'm so sorry. Freaky Friday 2 may be in works with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis excited to return if it happens.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone nostalgic about it.
Yeah, I mean, will I go see it? Possibly, because Freaky Friday was a guilty pleasure movie. Was it good? Yeah, I mean, sure, but it's just I'm just reading that. I'm like, okay, there were some funny scenes in that, and they both were really good actresses in that movie. So can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go see anything with with Jamie Lee Curtis in it because she's great. So I will go see it probably. I need to watch the first one again. It's been so long.
Yeah,
but
how long has it been?
Oh man, like it's probably 2005. You're gonna have to look it up. While you're looking it up, go ahead. That's gonna be
2003. That is 21
years.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. But that's going to be it for the stories for this week. So let's go ahead and jump back in to the comments here. Fancy something. Did we all see Stephen King's praise for Night Swim? Glad to see someone prolific giving the film some love. I did not see his praise for the movie. I don't know.
I didn't see it, but I mean, I like Night Swim, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was not for me. I mean, we weren't doing the live stream when it came out. I just thought that it was full of just like promising things that were just never expanded on. So, hey,
to each their own, right?
If Stephen King had written a good book lately, maybe I would take it a little bit more seriously. I'm just totally kidding. Nadia says, "I'm the only one that loved Believer. Stay strong. Hold strong against the tide. Believe." It's actually, the movie is about Nadia. She's the believer.
She is the believer.
And on the other side, heard nothing. That is going to be some comments here. Speaking of Disney, Disneyland is expanding their park. Avatar Land in discussion. Yes, there is, on the other side of where the hotels are, is where the park is going to be expanding to. So, some exciting stuff if it ends up happening.
We'll see.
Well, apparently both movies are at 22%. The fourth Final Destination was horrible, even for Final Destination standards. I don't remember which one the fourth one is. Is that the 3D one?
I'll look.
With the NASCAR and the wheels flying out and hitting people in the audience?
Probably that sounds like it. The fourth one is the Final Destination. It's not even number 4. It's Final Destination. I hate when they do this. It's the Final Destination, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, the Final Destination, Final Destination 5. Like, why even? All right.
Gotta love it. Yeah, I think Disney said they lost $1 billion last year. Yeah, they did not do well last year at all. Unfortunately, a lot of their projects were pretty disappointing. Which, I mean, it's going to happen to any studio. It's just it's upset that it's not upset. It's just disappointing that all of their films happen to be disappointments,
except for Guardians.
Yeah. The entertaining aspect of Final Destination left a while ago. Sorry.
Maybe it'll spark your interest with this new one.
Can't watch the Final Destination movies. I wouldn't be able to function out in public if I watched those movies too much. Totally get it. And here's Nadia answering your question, Kevin. Final Destination was supposed to be their last one. That's why.
Okay, but then... Okay. Horrible marketing decision, then.
Then money and studio greed took over.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for the comments. Let's go ahead and jump over. We had a lot of trailers that came out in this last week. And so I want to go ahead and kind of open it up. Kevin, have you seen any of them? Is there anything that stands out to you? I mean, I think I know your answer already, but what's looking good?
The first 3 look really good. Inside Out 2, The First Omen, and you didn't make me watch, but you told me to watch The Wild Robot, and that looks fantastic. And I'm surprised I didn't see a trailer for it anywhere. That might be my sleeper pick, that when it comes out, if it's up against some stiff competition, it might be flop at the movie theaters, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's an original IP, so I think that it may have some struggles, but I think if they market it correctly, it'll do very well.
Yep.
Inside Out 2, first trailer, I was excited. This new one, not so much. We'll have to wait and see when it comes out.
I think they're just making it so subtle that you have to go watch the movie to get it, or they don't want to reveal too much, and that's what I'm
Sure, yeah. For me, though, I think there were two trailers. I mean, obviously, the first three, like you said, First Omen looking real interesting. Wild Robot looking like an animated masterpiece. Hopefully, that's going to be as good as I think it's going to be in my head. But for me, Sing Sing looks like it's going to be really good, starring Oscar nominee last night, Colman Domingo, as a gentleman in prison with a bunch of other inmates and starts their theater program to help rehabilitate them, which is really cool. Also, Late Night with the Devil looks like it's going to be fantastic.
Is that like a thriller horror?
It's an independent kind of a horror movie about a late night talk show in the 70s that's on Halloween, and something goes horribly wrong, and you're there watching the whole time.
Ooh, that does sound really very intriguing.
Yes, that's another movie that Stephen King actually just gave a lot of praise for and said that it is a really good movie. So I'm very excited for that. So that's going to be it for the trailers from last week and kind of what we were looking forward to. We'd love to hear in the comments section what you guys are looking forward to. If there's anything from this week that you think looks good. I will say it didn't come out this week, but I did watch the trailer for Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney. And I think that one looks a little bit better than the first Omen. Just a little bit.
It looks interesting, but I think the way it's shot makes it look more interesting than the first Omen. The first Omen is very clear. This one's very I don't want to say shaky or like blurry, but there's like a filter on it that makes it look very interesting.
Sure. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into the next segment, which is where I get to talk about all the movies that I watched in the last week. Now, Kevin will be joining us for this at some point. Kevin will have his own review corner. That's a wonderful shot of him drinking some water.
I know.
But you just didn't really watch anything this week, so you'll be joining us next week with the movies you've seen. But I'm actually going to talk about my Wheel of Fate movie now because we're going to get our suggestions in a little bit later. But my Wheel of Fate movie was Teeth from, I forget which year it's from, actually. I didn't put it in there. But I said that Teeth was not as terrible as I remembered, but it's far from great. It has so much potential to be empowering and feminist, but it wastes that potential on shock value and gore. It's clearly trying to be scary, but it isn't. It's more of a horror comedy, and the shocking moments don't really feel genuine, shocking, or earned, in my opinion. The main actress is decent, but everything else just feels boring and plain and flat. It's just a meandering movie. But, spoiler alert, it's the best movie I watched this week. After that was The Pyramid, a 2014 found footage movie that takes place inside of a pyramid. A promising locale for a found footage movie is wasted on a story and characters that you just do not care about. The film inexplicably changes from found footage to normal cinematography with no explanation. And the CGI is laughably bad, and the film is just flat out boring. The performers are not good. The locations in the pyramid all look the same, and there's no noticeable differences noticeable differences in locations, save for some moving parts. And it's just an ugly film. The film may have its fans, and if you're one of them, all power to you. This is just my opinion, but it just wasn't anything for me. And usually I have a soft spot for found footage. After that, Godzilla 98. And this movie actually has a guilty pleasure place in my heart, a little bit of a nostalgia place, but it's not a great movie. No one in the film is competent, and it is not a Godzilla movie. If this had been made as a new monster movie, kind of like a Cloverfield or something, it may have been more fondly remembered, but it's just not Godzilla. The visual effects are pretty dated, and the practical effects and stunt work, though, are really good. There's actually some really good practical effects in this movie. It's just a shame that they're wasted on a film that makes no good use of them. Also, it feels really weird that the movie badmouths and fetishizes making fun of Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel. I did not like that. After that was Machete Kills, the sequel to Machete, which I talked about last week, and this movie sucks. This film feels like a 2-mile hike to see a dog turd. It's overlong, poorly paced, and edited terribly, and is way too busy with cameos and sequences that do nothing to further the plot. It's just this childish, inane attempt to put stars in situations that they wouldn't really be in. Did you want to see Amber Heard as Miss Texas? No. because she's probably out there abusing someone. Do you want to see Charlie Sheen as the president? No one does. It's just weird shit. It's got some cool violent scenes though. I mean, and I'm stoked for a third one if they make it, because it'll be in space. That's kind of cool. After that was Green Lantern. Yeah, we're in some real good movies this week. Yes, it's bad, but I can respect Ryan Reynolds for doing the most he could with what little he was given. The visual effects suck. It reeks of studio interference, and it's boring. Too little of it takes place on Oa, which is the planet of the Green Lanterns, which may feel like a blessing because of its visual effects, but it's a curse on the story, so it's a lose-lose. The villains suck, even though the casting for Sinestro is perfect. Mark Strong, perfect pick for Sinestro, and they just do nothing with any of the characters. Skip this movie. And now I have been told by Kevin that this next one I need to go ahead and apologize ahead of time for. This is my opinion, just my opinion. If you're a fan of this movie, I get it. I used to be a fan of this movie. I think just now I wasn't that big a fan of it. But World War Z from 2013, I did give it a 30. I've soured on it a little bit. This film may have its fans and a very fun video game, but this movie just is not up my alley. The plot convenience in this film is pretty unbearable. The supporting cast is wooden and boring, and there's such a lack of realism that it's painful. The film really embraces this kind of inane idea of let's put Brad Pitt in a place and have something bad happen to him. He's in his hometown, something bad happens. Then he goes to another place, something bad. It's event after event after event. His plane crashes right where he needs to go. The South Park episode that makes fun of this, I think, is a little bit better. But the book is good, so you can read the book if you want. There are some cool moments here and there. All the zombies crawling up the side of the wall is a really cool visual, and the visual effects behind it is really impressive. But just the movie itself as a zombie movie doesn't really do a whole lot for me personally. Also, it feels like, this is the last movie I'm covering, but Kevin, you've seen this movie.
Yeah.
There's the part in this movie that takes place in Jerusalem.
Is that where the big wall is?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it for a little bit.
Where they're bringing in people from Israel and Gaza and Palestine, and they're all singing "Kumbaya" out in the courtyard. That feels really awkward to watch in 2024.
That could be a little bit awkward.
Which is, I mean, obviously they didn't know that at the time of making the movie, but it just makes it a little weird. But if you want to see any other reviews, anything old or coming up, you can head over to my Letterboxd. So, but do you want to talk about your movie that you covered this week, real quick?
Oh yeah, I guess I will.
Let me pull up. I'll put a little banner on the screen for you.
Okay. So my movie was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I thought was just a fun. Like, I could see Garrett, I could see you, me, Nadia, Stacy, and Grant putting this on Halloween and just making fun of it, and it would be the best time ever, because that's what this movie is. It's just a good time with friends. The gore is good except for the CGI stuff, which is absolutely horrendous. I could do that in MSI Paint or something like that. But there's no really good plot to this movie. And I don't like how they went with Piglet's mask or anything like that. But it's just a really fun movie that you get to watch with friends, and it makes you laugh. So that's what I thought about it. I gave it as you can see, a 45 out of 100 on my Letterboxd.
Yeah, it's from what you're saying, what a couple other people have said, it's one of those movies so bad that it's good, or so bad that it's enjoyable. And I think that there is a place for movies like that out there, 100%. So, all right. Well, before we jump into the movies that are coming out this week, let's go ahead and go over some comments here. Kevin, how many movies can you watch when not your?
Yep, I had to read this like 7 times. How many movies can you watch when not you are movie watching instead of not watching anything? True or false? I put C.
I'm gonna say 42.
42, got it. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do not understand what the question is. You might have to rephrase it. I'm sorry. Unless it's just little. Have you ever had that dream where you like that kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not to make fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. I just don't know what to.
I think it's one of those stupid questions.
Sure. I mean, going right over my head. Workday was long today. Godzilla 98 was definitely written by a 12-year-old. Yeah. I think Roland Emmerich really wanted to make a Jurassic Park movie at the end with all the small ones in Madison Square Garden. Last 15 minutes of Green Lantern is the best part. It's got some decent moments, sure, but I can't. Parallax looks horrible in the movie. Like, I don't know. I guess stuff out in space is cool.
I haven't seen it in so long that I kind of want to see how if I remember it being that bad. Because I don't remember it being that bad. I think I enjoyed it.
It's
see, like back in the day when I'm like 16 or something, I was like, oh, that movie was pretty good. Probably watching now, I'm like, what the hell did I see in this movie?
Yeah, exactly. It's probably not as good as you remember, but it's on HBO Max if you want to check it out. Donnie says, "What? Get the fuck out of here with that World War Z score." Sorry, it's my opinion. It has. I used to like that movie a lot, but I just kind of soured on it, and it just didn't do anything for me this time. I watched it. That could change. I could watch it again, and it could be like way better. Maybe it was just kind of the place where I was at the time, but it just wasn't that good when I watched it that time. And it is just my opinion. If you love the movie, awesome. Or any of these movies that I've badmouthed over the last like 10 minutes. If you love them, all power to you. Every movie deserves to have a fan, unless you're Transformers. We're so doing that. I'm guessing talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And then Much Love. Great having you here.
Wait, I don't even know if we got the answer right.
That is the answer. Much Love.
Oh, it is. Dang it. I didn't study. E.
So.
My Scantron only goes up to D though.
You didn't have the nice Scantrons.
No.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out this weekend. We kind of moved right along here. We're almost at 50 minutes already. Arthur the King is the first movie coming out this weekend, very much wide release. An adventure racer adopts a stray dog named Arthur to join him on an epic endurance race, starring Mark Wahlberg, Simu Liu, and Natalie Emmanuel. This movie's trailer's been kind of all over the place. You've been seeing, previews for it. If you go to Regal, at least, you've been seeing it all over the place. I don't know about AMC or Cinemark or anything, but I mean, it's coming out. There's definitely a market and audience for those movies.
For that. I will not be going to see it because if the doggy dies, it's going to be horrible. So,
well, it's based on a true story, so I would imagine the dog doesn't die. But that's just me imagining. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to go see it.
Next up is Bad River. I believe is a limited release. This film chronicles the Wisconsin-based Bad River Band and the band's ongoing fight for sovereignty, which unfolds in a groundbreaking way through a series of shocking revelations, devastating losses, and a powerful legacy of defiance and resilience. The film is narrated by Quanah Chasing Horse and Academy Award nominee Edward Norton. So, kind of interesting there. Next up, that is Club Zero, another limited release film. A teacher takes a jab in an elite school and forms a job at an elite school and forms a strong bond with 5 students, a relationship that eventually takes a dangerous turn. Looks like it has pretty middle of the road reviews. So if you want to check out the trailer, if it's something you're going to be interested in, go check it out. And after that is One Life, another movie we've seen a couple times in theaters, commercials for, with Anthony Hopkins in the lead role. Sir Nicholas Nicky Winton, a young London broker who, in the months leading up to World War II, rescued over 600 children from Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia. It's got some decent reviews, got a 67 on Metacritic, so if you're looking for something kind of a true life story, World War II history kind of a thing, it might be something you want to go check out. So... And that is going to be it for the movies that are coming out this week. So, Kevin, why don't you take it away with the movies that came out last week?
So, the movies that came out last week, in number 1 spot is Kung Fu Panda 4. Surprisingly, with $58.3 million at the box office. I totally thought Dune was going to be on top, probably for another 2 weeks. But Dune came in second with 46 million. I can speak today. Imaginary third place with 10 million. Cabrini okay, with 7.6 million, and Bob Marley One Love with 4.1 million. It's very surprising how good Kung Fu Panda has been getting, actually. So might have to go see that in a little bit.
I've heard it's the reviews are not as high as the other films, which, I mean, It's fair. Not every franchise can have a consistently great movie, but you know, I mean, I've heard it's still good. So I mean, I'll probably go check it out this week if I have some extra time. And I like the first 3, so
yeah.
But all right,
Nadia and I are going to go see Imaginary tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
I feel like it needs to be a bit. So like between the 3 of us, we all need to go see all of the Imaginary Friend films that come out this year because there's 3 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's Imaginary, and then
there's another one that's like an A24 type indie movie. I forget what it's called, but I saw the poster at Regal for it. All right, let's see here. Comments coming up. Fans something. Yeah, we're gonna go see Arthur the King.
Good.
Hey, get some money. If it's gonna be good, it'll be good. Haley asks, "What the dog doing?"
He's in a triathlon or whatever they're doing in that movie. That's what he's doing.
Like crazy endurance races.
Yeah.
Fans something. Are we all satisfied with the Oscars and the winners? We actually covered that at the beginning of the live stream. So if you do want to see our thoughts on it, you can go over there. But yeah, I thought it was one of the best Oscar shows in years. I failed and only called 20 out of the 23 that we're going to win. I knew Oppenheimer was going to win Best Picture. It is the Best Picture of the year. Well, that and Zone of Interest are the 2 best movies of the year. Poor Things winning the second most. Best surprise of the night is Godzilla -1 getting visual effects. Highlight of the show. The best moment.
I have a question, Garrett.
Yeah.
During the Oscars, do they always have those people that have won past Oscars go up and talk about the other people?
So they've only done that once before, as far as I know, back in 2009, where they did something similar to that. And I think they need to do it every year.
I really enjoyed that, seeing other women and men get Oscars talking about other Oscar nominees. I thought that was very, very nice and very cool to see.
Yeah, and I think you need to have the person who won last year be the one that presents and announces the award. I think it's kind of like a passing of the torch kind of a thing. Even though everyone that wins it gets the trophy, there's not like it's not like a torch. But
yeah, they don't let fire inside of those places.
Yeah, but long story short, yes, satisfied with all of them. Some surprises for sure. Emma Stone winning instead of Lily Gladstone was a pretty big surprise. And then Godzilla -1 getting Best Visual Effects. Highlight of the night. Matt Walls, movies with dogs in them are a no from me.
Yep.
Just because you don't want to see anything happen to them.
Yep.
I get it. Matt Walls didn't watch the Oscars. I get it. A lot of people think that they're overrated or just don't really like to watch award shows and things like that. I get it. I love them though. It's the Super Bowl for me. I will request work off if it's during the week, which it won't be. It's always on a Sunday. But if we had to work that day, I would take the day off. I love it. I found an Oscar on eBay for $13. Bought it. Hope it's a legit thing. It's actually just someone named Oscar offering their services. What services they're offering, you'll have to find out when they show up at your door. I made Kevin choke. Hopefully he's okay.
I'm good.
Joey actually completely forgot about it. Again, I get it. It's it's not for everyone, but if you're into it, you're into it.
It's like I just watched the highlights to see who won, and that was good enough for me. Like I didn't have to watch the whole thing. Would I have liked to? Maybe, but it might have been drawn out a little bit for me.
Sure,
that's it.
And like obviously people are gonna say that this movie deserved it, this movie deserved it, they didn't get anything right. Why was Madam Web not nominated? It could be anything, right? but like remember, like film is art, it's subjective. So just remember, like if you like a movie and you went and saw it and you supported it and you told your friends that it was good, that's also really worth the recommendation. So some the Oscars are a little superficial. Yeah, it's Hollywood rewarding Hollywood, but who cares? I need Godzilla -1 on Blu-ray now. Yes, as soon as it comes out. That steelbook looks so good. I hope it is not a Japan exclusive. Because if it is, I will buy it in Japan and send it over.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't even watch. You don't have a region-free player.
I don't care. I will get the US Blu-ray, put it in the steelbook, and then I watched the Oscars. Yes.
Oh! I like that.
Very clever. I like it. There's also Dead Meat did the Battle Royale in WWE 2K24 with horror characters.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it, but I saw the video was on there. So that also could be a way to determine which one was the best one of the year. The fact that Ava DuVernay's origin got nothing in terms of noms is a travesty. Again, everyone's going to have a movie that they think should have won or should have been nominated. I have not seen anything from Origin. I don't even think it really had like an amazing critical response. Let me see here. I've heard Origin was good, and I know your review was really high, and I do want to go see it. It has 75 on Metacritic. I don't know. It may have also released at an odd time. It came out really late, but Godzilla Minus One did too, and it got nominated. So I don't know.
But I think this one came out later than Godzilla. So was it in time for nominees?
That's the only question. It may qualify for this year.
Yeah, that's what I.
So that might be something, Eddie, is that it may qualify for next year's Oscars. So you might just want to look into that. But yeah, I didn't really see anything like too incredible from its reviews. So, but then again, Maestro was nominated, and that movie was just like, it was good, but it wasn't like anything incredible. So, Matt Walls, if the Japanese release is region free, I'm buying it. Yep. Have the Japanese and the American version
right next to each other
of the same movie, not of American version of Godzilla. Alrighty. Well, that is going to bring us to. Hold on. Where's the music? There's the music. We're changing it up. We are going to spin the Wheel of Fate. So, I'm going to need everyone to go ahead and start putting your recommendations for the movies that you want to torture us with, make us watch, in the comments section. Any movie that you want us to watch. If we've seen it before, we will let you know. If it was covered on the podcast or something, everything will be there.
Nadia starting off strong. Sorry.
Not the Leprechaun in the Hood or whatever?
No, in the Hood 2 as well.
Got The Thing from Another World, which is the inspiration for The Thing, if I remember correctly, for a few dollars more.
Yep.
Smokey and the Bandit. Okay.
Then we have The Leprechaun Origins from Nadia. Homeless in America from Tommy Swayze, the Room guy. I don't know how to say his last name.
Old Henry. Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall.
Also, we are bringing back the thing where there's Garrett's pick for Kevin and Kevin's pick for Garrett.
Oh, I have to think of a movie then.
Well, we got time.
Yeah.
Slumber Party Massacre, Dances with Wolves director's cuts. Available, then do the director's cut for sure. Once Upon a Time in America. And then Reanimator. Okay. Kevin, just think, why so serious and don't say serious?
I don't know. I haven't seen The Room. I don't know. Is that a thing from The Room?
No, it's how you pronounce the last name.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Why so?
It's been a long day, Eddie. Sorry about that. Jokes. Woo!
But yeah.
All right. Any other response or any other recommendations? We only have 4 people watching right now, so probably not a whole lot of them. But thank you for everyone who has submitted something.
I'm looking for a movie for you on my show.
Slaughter High. Alrighty. We'll get another minute. Got another minute, and we will take anything else. High School Musical is going on to the spinner.
Oh, I haven't watched that in so long. I would be kind of down to watch that.
Is Origin available to watch? That's a good question.
I can look. Or are you doing it?
If you want to take a look. If it's not available to stream yet, then we might not be able to do it. But I'll put it on the list just in case.
It says it's streaming on Hulu, so let me check.
Alrighty, another 20 seconds. Hellfest again gets added. And if I can hand out a recommendation as well, Nadia, you should check out The Pyramid. I want to see what you think of that. I don't know what you think of found footage movies in general, but I'd be interested to see what you have to say about The Pyramid. Just because it's not your typical location and not your typical like monster kind of a thing. So I'd love to hear what you have to say.
I don't think it's streaming anywhere for Origins, unfortunately. Not quite yet. Not that I can see.
Alrighty, we're cutting off suggestions. Cutting off suggestions. No more suggestions. We'll go ahead and spin momentarily. Just gonna go ahead and look up Origin real quick just to make sure. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's streaming anywhere. So if we get Origin, we'll change it up.
Maybe next week, Eddie. We'll get Origins.
Yeah, we'll see. But let's go ahead and let's spin. Spin that wheel. Alrighty, here we go. You ready, Kevin?
I'm ready. I think
I have you went first last week.
Okay.
So I will go first this week.
Okay.
Here we go.
Is there any movie that you're hoping to get that sounds interesting to you? No? Okay. Reanimator.
And I get Reanimator.
Oh,
which is a movie I've heard about, but have not seen.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I'll have to see where that's playing. Alrighty. And Kevin. Here we go.
What did I get?
And we're spinning. It's off. And it looks like a leprechaun for Kevin.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that's both of Nadia's picks.
Yep.
Is skewed in favor of Nadia this week.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say?
I forgot.
That's all good. Alrighty. So we have our movies that we are being assigned. I am getting assigned Reanimator, and Kevin is being assigned Leprechaun. Hopefully Nadia owns it, so you don't have to rent it or anything.
I think it's playing somewhere. I think it's on Peacock.
Oh, okay. Nadia says yes. It's a Nadia week this week. Celebrate. Go dance. Fans like, dang, you missed out on Homeless in America. God, maybe we'll just check it out. Hey, Kevin wants to do his review corner next week. There's a movie if you want to go for it.
Maybe.
But that is it. Reanimator and Leprechaun. So tune in next week to make sure to see what we gave them.
What was your movie for me?
I was gonna pick A Silent Voice.
Okay.
Really good anime drama film. So. And what was your choice?
Have you seen Season of the Witch?
Halloween 3?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
No, that was going to be mine.
Yeah. I've only seen the original Halloween and the new trilogy. I haven't seen the Rob Zombie films, and I haven't seen anything past the original Halloween.
Okay.
In the original series.
Yeah.
It's on my list. Like I'm trying to figure out what my next thing is, because we talked about this last week. I did all the X-Men films, right? And so I'm trying to think of next what I want to do in terms of like a collection of movies, because it's a nice goal to have, right, to finish out a list. I was thinking about doing all the best picture winners, but now there's 96 of them, so that's gonna be a long time. But I don't know, maybe I'll go through that. I also saw all the Friday the 13th run something, so I don't know. It's been a while since I've done like a horror series.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like the Halloween movies, so probably start with those. But I mean, the Halloween 3, you don't really have to watch the other Halloweens to watch it.
That's what I've heard.
That's why I like it.
I also hear it's quite the divisive one. You either love it or you hate it, kind of a thing. Which I'm always interested to check those out. Joey, Halloween 3 is a good movie. Shame the name association hurt it at the time.
It is. If it was just a standalone movie, Season of the Witch, I don't think it would have gotten the eyes on the movie without the Halloween thing. So, but I always think of it as a standalone movie, not a Halloween movie.
Sure. Nadia says to watch the Leprechaun franchise. Well, Kevin's starting it out this week, so yeah, it's definitely on my list too. So that was, I have still not seen Halloween 3. Hey, maybe you want to watch it after today. Who knows? Fan something, the tagline for Homeless in America: "Don't give them a hand out, give them a hand up." That just sounds like the tagline for like a homeless advocacy group or something, like someone who goes out and helps homeless people. I don't know why I was expecting a worse tagline for a Tommy Wiseau movie.
Yeah.
Nadia, Halloween 3 is my fave. I thought I remember that. Yeah, isn't it on your top 4 on?
Yeah, it is
on Letterboxd. Yeah, I thought I recognized it. I thought it's on yours too. I think
it's on mine. Yeah.
But alrighty, well, that's it for the kind of scheduled stuff for the week. Kevin, what have you got going on as far as what have you been watching outside of? Like you already kind of said earlier with YouTube and hockey and stuff. But anything else fun you've been up to over the last week you want to talk about?
Not really. I mean, gonna go see Imaginary tomorrow. Maybe Kung Fu Panda the next couple of days in the rotation. Just because nothing really intrigues me that's coming out this week in theaters. So we'll see about that. I just finished the Call of Duty Dune thing that you get the skin for. So I forgot that was a thing. So I had to do that today.
Sure.
What else? I think that's pretty much it. And obviously from working and stuff like that too.
Yeah. As far as me, we have a couple of comments here before we jump into me. Matt Wall says Halloween 3 is the only one he hasn't seen, and has it. There's a lot of movies I have like that.
Yeah.
that I haven't seen and own, so I get it. Okay, no more Homeless in America talk until next week.
Okay.
Yes, bring it up again next week because it could have been. Great show, fellas. Night to night. Have a great night. Hope
Bye,
you
Eddie.
have a wonderful rest of your week. But as far as me, which I forgot to talk about this last week, my birthday was on Wednesday last week. So we had a little celebration over the weekend. Did some casino night gambling. It was a lot of fun. And then watched the Oscars, obviously, yesterday, which we talked about. And then, I had to go on and buy the Warhammer pack for Call of Duty. So I had to go and get that. But aside from that, I've actually started replaying one of my favorite games of all time.
Fallout.
And gonna 100% no Lego Marvel Superheroes. The first one.
I can see that. I can see that being just a fun, easy game to.
All the Lego games are fantastic, but like this one in particular just had so many good characters to collect and everything. I just love that game. It's total I just absolutely
nostalgia.
Love it. So, speaking of games, though, I am thinking sometime this week I'm going to start streaming on Twitch again. So if I start doing that, and if I'm able to get everything kind of working again, I will talk about it next week as far as where you can go if you want to watch. But that might be coming up. So that's about it for me. Matt Walls watched all the Tremors movies since they're free to watch on YouTube last weekend.
Hey, tell Nadia that she wanted to watch Tremors, and I told her it's very good. So
here you go, Nadia. All the Tremors movies are on YouTube for free right now. So,
have you seen Tremors?
I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's a nostalgia, or not nostalgia, a guilty pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a movie. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie.
But Mr. Bacon sizzling out in the desert.
Oh yeah, throw some Kevin Bacon on the pan. You're good to go. Matt Walls, happy birthday! Thank you very much, sir. Hitting a big 32. I also hit 30 on Wednesday. Glad to see we're of the same year, same model year. It was a great year at the factory. My company works for car, we do car dealership stuff for my company, so that's just the first thing on my mind every time. But congratulations! Well, if you have to let us know when that birthday is, we can say happy birthday for you. And Nadia is also hitting.
That's true.
The big 30 this year, same year as well.
Old man in this
great model. I'm telling you, great model year. 1994 produced some of the best people out there. Kevin was like the early model, and then everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the model with all the defects, and then it just perfected itself for 2 more years, and then people buy that model.
They tested out all the new features, and were like, "This doesn't work," or "This does work."
Yeah,
it was all on Kevin. Most of it works though. Kevin's a fantastic guy. Yeah, that's about it for this week. I got nothing really else to talk about. I mean, we already talked about the Oscars, so. But thank you all so much for joining us. Actually, we had it here. I'd say 1983 is superior. Hey, everyone has their favorite year that human beings were born in. So I get it. Also, 1983, I believe, was a song by John Mayer. Am I wrong? Am I going to pull that out of my ass and actually call that right now? 1983, Jimi Hendrix. 83 is bad. But he says 1983 in the song. I remember that. Naughty, the first 3 Tremors movies are effing awesome. Yep.
I'm on it, Chief.
Go check them out. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't know, you can follow us everywhere online, social media, everything at Real Watchers, REEL Watchers, pretty much everywhere. Also, we have our weekly show that goes live every Friday, which is our show Movie Club. This week, we are covering the awesome sci-fi romance film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is going to be an interesting episode to talk about. I already spoiled how I felt about it, but you can watch the episode as it goes live this Friday, and you'll learn what's coming next week. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. We will see you next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless something was to happen, but probably not. Nukes could fall and we'll still be here streaming. So we promise you that.
We're underground.
You are. I'm 2 stories up. Anyhow, I'm getting burnt first, then Kevin will cook later. So, but anyhow, good night, everyone. We'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Bye-bye.
And until next time, keep your eyes on the screen.